Hello, we're here to make the 4 cards from the springtime card making set. And let's start with this white one because it's probably the easiest. There's a honeycomb mat to put on the front of this card. So you'll line it up over the best wishes greeting and just put tape in each of the 4 corners. Let's do that. Thought this card would be nice for a special occasion, or looks a little bit fancy for if you have a wedding to go to or something. So you want to line it up so it's nice and straight. And it should look like this. Then we're going to do a little bit of flower arranging, and just along the side here, here's our sample. We're going to put our foliage, just our foliage down, and you can arrange it any way. I like to use tape when I can, and then other times it's nice to use the glue if you have a really small area. Such as some of these little bits of flora to get just a little bit of glue on the stem. We're starting with the easiest card first. Not that any of them are hard, but some of them have more steps. And once you're pretty happy with how you have your foliage arranged, it's like we've made a little nest for this bird. You can just put the bird right on the top. And it's ready to give. Comes with an envelope with a gray swirl. You may have a rose stamped on the back, so that could be for an anniversary or for future designation. Okay, next, let's make this card for maybe some of the men in our lives. It is a golf card. It's going to be the one with a green envelope to work on next. And the first thing we're going to do with this card is tape down the grass on the front of the blue card. I just put a little bit of tape in each corner. And you just put it down like this, and then we can start building our green and our golf course. So first thing I put down was the hole. Little bit of tape in each corner will work for that. And I put glue on the pole, a little bit of glue on the back. Less is more with this glue, so you don't want it really squirting out the side. And then you'll see a red flag that you can just put on there too on the top. And when you're happy with that, you should have a little golf ball left that you can put somewhere on the green, like maybe it's almost going into the hole. You should also have two pieces. It says on your special day and a white piece, and we're going to layer that up so that the yellow piece has a little white border around it. And then you can decide where that looks good on your card. On this one, I think the pole was over a little too far, so it ended up in the middle, but I kind of liked it better at the top. So put that wherever it pleases your eye. And lastly, you should have also a card with the sun and some grass. This is what you put inside the card. So you have a place to write your greeting. You have some white to write on. So just put a little tape in each corner. And mat that up on the inside. And put the green envelope with it, and we have another one done. Okay, next, let's try to do this pretty springtime card. So we're going to take this pack, and there's a few more steps with this one. If we want, we can put this thinking of you white insert in first on the inside. And we can decorate the front. So the first thing we want to do on the front is to put our grass down. You'll have speckled side out because that is all your grass seed. So I just put a little bit of tape just at the bottom so that the grass maybe moves around a little bit. And then next you can put a fence right over the top of it. So put a little glue or tape right in this bottom white part here. I think I'll use tape. Okay, now the next step is this tree, and we have that coming like it's growing into the card. So put that right at the corner, and we'll glue that down with just a little bit of glue in the tips of this bit of foliage. The thing about when you put this down on your card, you kind of want to commit. You don't want to move it around because then you'll get glue where you don't want it on the card front. So when you think you have enough glue on all the little stems, You're just going to lay this down. Mine went over the card edge a little bit. I might just trim that off with the scissors. And then if you did get a little glue where you don't want it, this is a forgiving card because you can just put one of these yellow flowers right over your spot. You should have about 6 in your pack or so. And just put those down randomly. This is how mine turned out. And then you should also have 6 gems, and we'll put 1 gem inside of each flower. Kind of tests our fine motor skills. They're so tiny. I think I have one here where the adhesive stayed on the release paper a little bit. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue on it, and that'll make it behave. Okay, when you get all your gems down, you should have a little bit of adhesive that will pop up those birds. So they're going to look like they're in flight. So you should have 2 pieces, and you're just going to put that on the back of your bird. And they're going to be popped off your card just a little bit. Their gray color makes me think of mourning doves a little bit. Although the shape isn't quite right. You can have them facing or both in flight, however you would like to have it. All right, that's a cute card to give. And our last and final card is this pink set. So this has several pieces to it. The first thing we probably want to do is tape this inside down. Happy birthday. Putting a little bit of tape in each corner. I'm just going to line this up inside so there's a little bit of pink edge around, kind of evenly, so I can eyeball it. And then you have a piece like this with flowers, which is going to be perfectly matted for this piece in front. So we can put that down too. we have something like this. Okay, now we also have a pink piece with a score mark. And we're going to put the smaller piece on the back of the card so that we have this flap in front, the longer flap in front. So go ahead and just tape this down. I kind of put it maybe 3/4 of the way down. Then you have a little flap that opens in front here, and you should have another piece of paper that's striped to mat on the front of that. Okay, and finally, we're going to put a flower here and 2 leaves. Kind of like this, so it opens with a flower, and so you can put that down however it looks good. Right in the corner of the flap. I put my flower down first, and then you can kind of tell where you might want the leaves. I hope you like it. If you're going to write a message to somebody, you could write under this flap, like realize you have this much room. So sometimes it's nice when you don't have a lot to say, you just want to wish someone a very happy birthday. And that way when the card is closed, you won't see any writing, but if they open it, they'll have their message. So I hope you enjoyed this. Happy card making.